Hello traders, and welcome to City Traders Imperium's YouTube channel, where we are interviewing the best funded traders in our firm. In today's interview, I got the pleasure of meeting Nancy Keller, our first female funded trader. She's now our portfolio manager and she's managing $70,000 of CTI capital. And as you know, CTI, we have the best funded rules in the industry. And our mission is to help as many traders as possible achieve financial freedom, personal freedom. And so in this interview, you get to see Nancy's story, what she's been through, all the challenges and how she overcame them. So make sure you watch to the end. And to continue supporting our channel and continue seeing more of these interviews, give us your feedback in the comments below, smash the like button, subscribe, and we're going to be bringing you a lot more of these interviews. So without further ado, let's show you our interview. Hello, Nancy.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. So today, this interview is essentially just to go through a little bit about yourself, about your trading, and about your recent performance. So firstly, I want to congratulate you. Well done.
Thank you.
You passed the CTI evaluation. It wasn't easy.
No.
So tell me a little bit about yourself, your name, where you're from, and how you got into trading.
Okay, I'll try to make it short. My name is Nancy Keller. I'm 38 years old, and I came originally born in Germany, and half American, half German. My father is American. And we recently moved to Spain last year. I moved to Spain with my husband. Following a dream we were planning out and working on for many years before. So as a profession, I was a patent paralegal for 15 years in different Munich firms. That was the first profession I learned after graduating from high school. And then halfway through, I decided to also study alternative practitioner. It's like a holistic medicine studies, which you can do in Germany in parallel to a normal medical doctor or stuff like that. So, and well, how I got into trading is I literally Googled my way into the trading world. I have to be honest with that. And that thought process just began by thinking of wanting to have more in a wealth way, in a job way, in a private life way, because on a daily basis, if you just work like a normal daytime job, you always have a limit. You have like promotions, you can grow, you can get better, but I wanted more freedom for myself, more financial freedom, more time freedom, and I wanted something that I would not only trade money against time. So this is when I got into Forex trading the first time around 2015, together with my husband already there. And we did the whole package. We just signed up with brokers. We followed signals from groups and chat rooms more blindly than anything else, than any thinking about it. And so without missing the professional education in that big topic and the markets and trading and economics and everything. Of course, we lost money here and we lost money there. And I got really frustrated quite quick. So I put everything on ice. I stopped everything because I just got so frustrated, and I thought to myself, okay, this is probably not for me, and I will just go back and continue doing what I really can. So I went back in my healing practice. I went back in my paralegal practice, which, to be honest, I never stopped. It was just a side thing I did at nights, at weekends, to trying to study Forex market and financial markets in whole. And so time went by, and for some reason, my husband never really gave it up. He kept researching, didn't really working. He didn't really have an account or did like some serious back testing or trading or anything with a demo account, but he never let it go. And what happened then is beginning of 2019, our dream to move here to Spain got a little more, closer to grab for us. So, and we figured like, okay, what were we going to do with our jobs? We would both be able to work parts of our job here in Spain remote. So that would not have been a problem, but it would not solve the issue, and it would not serve the whole dream to be independent, financial independent, and also time independent. So, and then we started to do some professional education, at first sight mostly on stock trading, but that led to that I just got started forex trading again, because back in 2015 I liked it more. I liked analyzing. I liked technical analysis. Like, if you can say that I understood just a tiny part of it, but I really liked it. And back last year, 2020 in August, I joined some groups and did some more forex education and back tested and found out a strategy and tested strategies, different strategies from different mentors. And so I was just trying to find my edge and trying to find my trading style and just the environment I could work in. And then I started the CTI challenge, and here I am.
Fantastic. That is such a great story. Thank you so much for sharing. We have so many things in common. I also started around 2015, and you have this dream of freedom, right? Like you said, it's time freedom, money freedom. And I think that's what attracts people into trading, is just to kind of get out of that comfort zone of having the sort of normal sort of 9 to 5 career. And what's fascinating about your story is that your journey, it's also your trading journey starts with your husband as well. So both of you have been in this trading journey together.
Yes.
But your husband obviously just never gave up. He kept going, and that's so cool. It's like you're like a little power trading couple. That's amazing, because you can obviously support each other. I think that's really a good little power team there. So is it your focus on forex? Is your husband doing stocks and forex?
He's still into stocks, but he started focusing on forex because I just, I took him and rocked him on the train. So he's still backtesting and trying to find his way into that. And of course, as you would know, our brains totally function in a different way. They're totally different from each other. So sometimes I think like it would make sense to just lay them over one over each other and just take the essence of it, but that is the hardest thing to do.
Thing is, our brains are like fingerprints. They're completely unique in every single human being. So your edge will be completely different to whatever his edge will be. So definitely, but the great thing about that too is that you can bounce ideas off each other and you can look at a different perspective, because with trading, you can literally, one trader can make money buying the euro and another trader can make money selling the euro on the same day. It's just like it's a zero-sum game at the end. It sounds like you've had a very unique experience. You've obviously had, with your trading, you've had obviously huge shift in your personal life. You moved from Germany over to Spain, which has been a dream of yours. What would you say was like one of the biggest challenges that you faced in your trading career, and how did you overcome it?
I would say the really biggest challenge, if I just say it as a whole, is definitely the psychological part of it, like the psychological factor of it. And going a little bit deeper in that, at the beginning, when you backtest and then you start trading in a demo account, and then you, even with the evaluation, or it'll probably go further. I always found myself over and over again with those two tiny persons in me saying, okay, how about we just get more out of the trade? Like the nitty gritty trader, you know, that going like, okay, this is turning out for us really good. So how about we just, you know, push it a little higher, and then it goes down. And then it always would go the other way around too. It was not only like I'm one type of person or trader, like some of them are, you know, have FOMO, and some of them are more like hesitating to enter the trade. It would all come in, and it would all come in with one trade. So if it would turn against me, I would say like, how about we chase that thing? How about we just, you know, move the stop loss a little bit, because it'll go back up, and all that things that probably every one of us experiences, you know, becoming a trader. It's just a journey. And of course, at the beginning, I was one of those people back in 2015 when I lost the money with stock trading. I thought I could take the fast train, you know. I thought like, yeah, got it. I can do that. I hear what you're saying, and I can put that into action. But it's just way more than that, because as you said, Rodrigo, our brains are just like our fingerprints, and they work totally differently. And if you have a good strategy, you know, copied or from yourself or changed it, anything, it could be the best strategy on the planet. But if you're not able to put it into action, if you're not able to follow the strategy and follow the plan you made out of it that showed you in a back test and a forward test that it's really profitable, the strategy is profitable, it's not worth anything. And so my biggest challenge was definitely I'm saying like with me, myself, and I, getting those together and just keeping them grounded and keeping them disciplined and structured and focused, and just keeping that on track with the plan. That I might be too emotional, might be because I'm a woman, might be not, I don't know, but the emotion in many ways, as in greed and fear, you know, switching, playing tennis with each other was the biggest thing I had to overcome. And how did I do that? Of course, it's like some people really just like my husband. He has a plan and he follows it, and there's no left and right, and he doesn't look any other way, and he just doesn't do that. And I'm always like the emotional thinker. And for me, to be really honest with you, I had to have other different things in my everyday life that I would have to change first. I have to get myself into rituals. I had to try to get me structured from the first step I take in the morning. I had to try to, you know, do things to a certain time, drink my coffee to a certain time, do a meditation, do yoga. I'm just a girl, you know, I like yoga and stuff like that. So
I'd love yoga too.
Okay, good.
Girls anymore.
Good. So I found new meditation. Well, not new, but for me, new kind of meditation listenings and podcasts, and I would do one in the morning and I would practice one in the evening. And the Silva method, if you know that one, I don't know. There's so many out there. It's just, you just have to pick what fits you. And I did that around my trading room and around my trading desk to keep me focused already when I get in there. And that's the main thing. But it definitely was the psychology thing between chasing trades and being too greedy and being too fearful, and putting all that aside and trying to just follow the plan and be true to yourself, because you lie at yourself. If you make a plan and you backtest something and you put all the work in and it's profitable, and then you go out and you go like, no, I can do it a little much better and I do it a little much different, and you're lying to yourself. And that was the hardest thing I had to understand.
Yeah. Wow, that was so powerful. So many nuggets there, honestly. And I think from what I took from it mostly was just that you obviously you went through what most traders go through, and it's that psychological challenge, but did the right thing. You focus on the process, right? From even the details of the process of your actual routine, right? It's something that I always go on about when I'm mentoring and coaching traders. It's like focus on not just the trading process, but just your life process, your personal process. You get yourself to peak state. What does that mean to get yourself to peak state? How do you get there, right? And so you need to figure out what type of exercise gets you to that point at peak state, what kind of meditation, diet, what time you go to sleep, what time you have your coffee. Literally, I have a very similar way of trading, and it's focusing and really having this routine. And the more I follow the routine, like your husband, the more you stick to the plan and there's no left or right, it's just stick to the plan, that's when you can start being consistent. And it's something that Mark Douglas famously put, that consistency begins in the mind. And so if we want to be consistent traders, we have to be consistent with ourselves, with our lifestyle, with our routines. That's so powerful, the way you overcome that challenge. And that's what many traders will face. So hopefully them listening to you, talking about the same problems, the same issues, and how you overcame it through your routine, through your focus on the process, that's going to help and inspire so many. So thank you for sharing that. It's really powerful. And so how would you describe your strategy? If you would like to explain it to a 10-year-old, how would you explain your strategy?
Okay, basically it's two different strategies. So it's not only one big thing, it's two totally different things. And I do not trade both of them within a day. Sometimes I do one of them a whole week when I know, okay, markets are trending and I feel like it's working better. And then on the other side, it might be that I catch one and I say, okay, this is a really good one. This is like, okay, so I'll hop in that one. So it's a trend following strategy, multi-time frame analysis, and it's basically really simple, to be honest. It's everyone should know what a trend following is. So and the markets do not follow the trend, they're not trend following all the time. To be honest, it's like, what do they say? 30%, 35%, even less, what they are really trending. So, but still it's a trend following strategy. And of course you have more than one or two or three currency pairs. So you will be able to find one, like I'd say within a week for sure. So, and I do that in different time frames too. From the time frame like down to 15 minutes, 1 hour, mostly 1 hour and 4 hour. And the way I follow the trend is in the smaller time frames, like sometimes I do a 5 minute and a 15 minute. It's kind of a reversal strategy. I just watch like where is the best time to get in the trade, not like buying the low in a downtrend or buying the high in an uptrend. And then with the 1 hour and 4 hour, it's more like I look for levels. It's like a Fibonacci level. It's like a breakout level, a level of significance, a support and resistance zone. And you would just see if the trend is really in all time frames, preferably also in the daily. Doesn't really have to be a weekly, but it's a multi-time frame analysis. And then I would just see like, do I find turning points and do I find the best entry points for just following the trend? And as you might have heard, the trend is your friend. And that's just the way it is with this strategy. So it's not that complicated. I don't use that much of indicators. I use a few EMAs with that. And it's basically a lot of support and resistance lines. It's sometimes channels. I would say it's, to come down to it definitely always is a little part of just knowledge and experience and watching the market. So I'm not that type of trader who would think like, okay, I have like a trading robot, I have like a really automated strategy that would tell me the point of entry and the point of exits, excuse me, I'm more likely with my being in there. Like, I have to like the trade, I have to be convinced by the trade. My husband doing a totally different thing. He likes those really deeply back-tested indicator trading, and I'm more likely, like, I look at the trend and I look at economics. Like, I'm not too much of a fundamental trader, to be honest. I like to be purely technical, but of course I do look at the big high impact news of a day before I enter a trade, even if it's a trend following. You know, it could always turn or reverse. But and the other smaller part is it's not really a trend following. It's more likely a gap close. It's not my own, of course, they're all not my own strategies, but what you would have to do with every strategy. I mean, I think you can even buy them on Google or eBay, or I don't know, but out of a personal experience, I would say, even if you just copy a strategy from a mentor or from another person, I think there will always remain the small fact that your brain does not function like any other brain, because they're all different, and you may just change a little of that strategy and back test it again and find your edge. It's basically about finding your edge. That's what I think. And so my second one is more like it's a gap close. It's like I look for daily gap, I look for 4-hour gaps. I don't know how. That's hard to explain to a 10-year-old, by the way. I have lines and I see, like, okay, the price action trades higher trends, and then there has to be the point of time where it has to close the space between an EMA and the price action candle. And this is basically what I look at in a bigger time frame and then trade in smaller time frames. But yeah, I would say the main thing is a trend following.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's a very discretionary approach. I have a very similar way of trading. So day trading, price action, short term. I get everything that you're saying, definitely. So let's go into your trading statement. And let's see if I can bring up the screen very quickly. You pretty much described your strategy. I can see it here in your equity curve. It's like, this is your trend following.
Right.
And these are like sort of the gap closing. So you mentioned that you decide one day or particular week that you choose a particular setup, right? You choose the particular strategy that you use. So I can already see this period here where you had a huge uptrend in your equity. Was that the trend following strategy?
Yes.
You're using there?
Yes.
Okay. And I can see here that you had a bit of a shaky start, which is very common in most when you start a fresh account, especially a funded account. Okay. So can you talk me through this part? Do you remember what happened here? And how did you get out of it? It was like you got out of it really well.
I know. The most important thing with that challenge was, though, that I did not lose the very first trade, I guess, but well, then it went on. Yeah, I would say it's purely psychological. Again, it's just you win one, you lose one, and then you get like, okay, I gotta do this. I gotta just get this done. And I remember that when you went right where your cursor is, like, that was bad. That was just really bad. It was. There is sometimes, even like with an exit strategy or with following your plan, you would have trading plans where you would say, okay, your strategy is always a set and forget, and you leave like your risk, you leave your stop loss where it is from the beginning. And then you would say, no, you move it up like half an hour, or you move it to even when it hits 1 hour, stuff like that. And to be honest, I did chase 1 or 2 or 3 trades by that time, saying like, no, I'm not going to lose the third one. I'm not going to lose it. And as you can see, I know you might say, oh my God, what's she doing? That's a challenge. I mean, it cost me money. I'm not supposed to mess it up. Of course, I know, and I'm not perfect either, but I'm really emotional type of trader.
Was this the same trade? The same position?
No,
okay.
I don't think so.
All right.
I burn my fingers here and there. Yes, still.
It happens. It does happen. And then you go through this sort of stagnant period, and I think this must have been. How were you feeling during this time? Was it a tough period for you, or were you still very confident at this stage?
It was funny because if you look at the really high point, it was around, that's a number in trade. So it was at trade 41, right? When that winning game ends there. And the first thing I thought was, oh my God! And I have to be honest. When you look at the amount, it's a 17,500 account. So I had to do what was it? 1,225, 1,200. No, I don't have that anymore. So and by that time, the challenge was done. If you look at the amount at the right side.
Yeah.
And that drove me crazy because
you hit the target, but you haven't met the conditions.
That drove, to be honest, I'm gonna be really honest with you. I thought to myself, so okay, fine. That will be done, but there's like, I don't know, there were like 20 days, 22 days left trading day. I mean, it's 30 days you have to do with CTI, so I thought like, oh, okay, fine. And to be honest, I did not know that I was supposed to hit the target and that only would be my payout. So I slept the night after that 41, after that high, I slept the night and I woke up in the morning and I thought to myself, I can't stop now and just, I could have stopped and I had like a big buffer amount, so I could have just opened this trade, closed it again to realize the trading days, because you need 30 active trading days.
Yeah.
So that's something you probably don't want to hear, but but I could have done that. Like, okay, because I had the amount, I had like a buffer, and then I just tried to get through the days. But that's not me. So I thought to myself, like, no, I'll just keep continuing what I do, because it doesn't make any sense to not do it now. And then later on, you have a funded account. You can't hide. You can't just sit in the corner and go like, no, I have what I want for this month, and I'm just not going anywhere from here. So I thought like, no, I'll just keep continuing. It went back down, like, let's say around that 57, right there, 57. And by that time, I thought, you're fine, because if you take the very first part until trade 23, like the first drawdown, and copy it above on the second one.
Yeah.
I just thought to myself, like, okay, you're good. That's like on the beginning, you're just fine. You just keep cool, and then you keep up going up. And so the real hole was right there where you are with your cursor, because it didn't happen. And I just fell in a hole. I mean, it's not like I had a drawdown and messed and blew the account, but still psychological. And to be really honest, I fell in that, okay, I have it, but I still days to go. And that nervousness and that intense feelings just led me to not doing what I was doing when I was following my plan. And
did you miss a few trades during that period, like really good ones? It does happen. And what we're looking for at CTI, we're looking for traders who are able to, yes, reach targets, but it's to be able to do it with discipline and consistency.
Right.
What you showed here was discipline, risk management discipline, and to stick to the rules, right? And what we care about is not necessarily about hitting targets, but we care more about, can you follow your rules? Can you follow our rules? Right. And you've done that very well. So congratulations. And yeah, it's not easy at all. When I passed the evaluation, that was the hardest trading experience that I've had to go through. But at the same time, it was just so insightful because, in fact, I improved as a trader because I had to adjust my strategy, my methods, and my processes to City Traders Imperium's rules. And then what that done in the end, it actually improved my trading. Actually, by reducing the risk, it actually made me amplify my gains because I would lose less. And right. So it's so important, it's so powerful. And this is an example of that. When you use solid risk management, when you stick to the rules, you can have amazing performances. What would you, from your experience doing the evaluation and now that you're a portfolio manager, what advice would you give to other funded traders who are looking to become a funded trader with CTI, or maybe perhaps have recently failed an evaluation? Because I understand you failed a couple of times before getting here. Yes. What advice would you give to them?
I would say the most important thing I would do before I would start with the evaluation and with the challenge is that I would make sure that my psychological mind is grounded and is ready for it. And I think everything is connected in a certain kind of way, in an energetical way, and it's all connected to each other, and the things happening around you in your all-day life, the circumstances, the actions and stuff you have to deal with on a daily basis does affect your trading. And so I would say the most important thing, you would have a strategy, you would have tested it, and you would have a plan, and that's all fine, but it's still you trading. So try to make your life really simple. Like, most of you would probably think now, well, we all have like small kids, we have like parents that need assistance, we have, jobs going on, daytime jobs that we have to go after and stuff like that. But I still do have to say, you have to really make sure that you cut out anything that can be cut out by that time. I really do understand it's not possible for all of us, but it helped me a lot to cut out meetings and friends and weekends, and because all that is thoughts in your head, and what you're basically cutting out is not the circumstances and the people and the actions. You're cutting out the thought processes you don't need, and then you can focus on yourself and focus on your rituals and focus on your structured life while going through a challenge. So it really helped me with my husband, I have to be honest, because it's easy to say we don't have any kids, but he's been really supportive, and I think it really helped me that I had my room and my time and my focus on myself, and to just times that I could wake me up when I say like, okay, I go too fearful, I go too greedy, I go too whatever. To make a long story short, make sure that your psychology fits and that your brain is ready for it and that your emotion is ready for it in a whole, and not only your plan and you back tested and you see like the number on your Excel spreadsheet and say, okay, fine, I have like a strategy that makes, 50, 55, 60, 70%. It just really looks good. that's not all of it, because out of my personal experience, and that's what I would like to give an advice for everybody trying it.
That is really good advice. It really is. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I completely agree. It's having that mental space to actually be able to manage your trading process and execute. That's how you can get to peak performance level.
Exactly.
Because that's what it takes to be a consistently profitable trader. And you've obviously demonstrated that. So well done. And thank you so much for your time, Nancy. And good luck with now that you're a portfolio manager, good luck with that. It's that is the next challenge. You've done the warm-up. The evaluation was essentially to prove yourself. You've proved yourself that you can do it. And now some might say this next challenge is a bit more difficult because it's now, it's more capital. And now it's, I guess it's you versus you, like you said, right? Me, myself, and I. So yeah, continue with your rituals, continue with your process. And what I'd advise for you is, just think of this like a marathon. Take it easy. It's not a sprint. And continue to focus on your processes and your rituals and your routines, because that is where consistency is. That's where you're going to find lots of success. And it's actually okay not to trade on a particular day. It's actually okay not to take certain trades. That in itself is a risk management technique. So thank you so much for your time, Nancy. I really enjoyed
you for having me.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. So good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye.